Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal, ordinal, ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystems. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. Every week, we do a weekly update and a weekend update, and today is your weekend update. We got so much going on. Runestones has finally dropped. We all officially got stoned, and we're all high right now because the price is outstanding, and we got so much more to talk about. We're going to go over topics like what we got here. The Unicross partnership with Mineral. We got, we're going to talk about UniWorld's partnership with Unisat wallet. That is amazing. Ordinal Maxi Biz, Orange Eyes, still having trouble with the mint out. We're going to talk Bitcoin. We're going to talk about a lot more and kind of give you guys all the prices and everything that's going on in all the markets. So I guess without further ado, let's get this thing started and bring in my partner, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What is up? What is up?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. You know, we're all stoned. We all got stoned together, all the OGs. And so, yeah, it's kind of like a big, you remember that 70s show when they would all get in the stone circle, and it's kind of like that, except for a huge OG circle of people getting stoned, and the price looks great.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's talk about something that's not doing so great. The King. King's taking a step back right now, King Bitcoin, and he's not looking too good. He's a little sick, but we think that I think that this is just a normal setback, and we're gonna head on way past our all-time high. I do not like sitting below the all-time high, but we are right now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick, and let's rewind it back to 2020, and we can see March 8th of 2020 is when, you know, it pulled back before the halving this year in 2020, right? You can see March 8th, the price was about 9,200, and then March 8th happened, and then like consecutive days, it just, you know, it went down to 84, 87. Then like the next day set right at 8,000. Anyway, so we can see consecutive days. It goes from March 8th to really March 17th. We're looking at like a 9-day period, a little bit more than a week, right? And it went from 9,200 all the way down to, you know, it looks like around right here, which is like 5,000, about 5,200. So about $4,000 decrease, right? So you're looking at about 45%, between 45 and 48% pullback, right? And I think this is what people kind of were expecting for March, you know, because we saw it in the previous halving, right before the previous halving. So maybe this is kind of that. Like I said, this cycle is different with ETF buy pressure, so I don't expect a 46 to 48% pullback, but maybe we could see something that's like 20 to 30% pullback, and you know, that's actually probably healthy, and it could actually help perpetuate the super cycle theory, right? Because if you think about it, let's say that like we didn't have a pullback where we are right now. I'm gonna, you know, pull this over to where we are today. I mean, the chart definitely looks a little different, and I think it's because like there was such a huge like climb up from what was that, like the end of January, and you could see that this pullback is starting now. So let's just say that like we did have like a 9-day pullback, you know, and it was like 20-30%. We're talking about starting at like 73,000 and then starting to pull back. And that was, if I bring out the day, Friday is whenever the you know, it started to show like red days, right? So if we did, let's just say we had a 20%, 25% pullback, 72K times, you know, 0.20, we're looking at, you know, 1440. So yeah, it could, if the 20% you know, theory, you know, happens, then we could see 57, 58,000, right? But like I said, I think that would actually be healthy for like a super cycle theory, right? Because like if we didn't have like a 20-30% pullback and we just had like a little, blip, like 5% pullback, and then all of a sudden it carries right back on, then we're following exactly to a T the trajectory of the left translated cycle, which would still be like big money making opportunities. It would just end earlier, and a lot of people think that would be like at the end of this year. So I don't know. I'm curious to hear what your theories are now that we are seeing this pullback. How far do you think it goes, and how do you see this playing out?
Well, the March 2020 was obviously COVID, right? So that was a big factor in that. But if you go back to the previous Marches, it's kind of the same thing. So you're not wrong on that. March was a little bit more drastic because of the Black Swan event. But yeah, I think you hit everything on the head of the nail there. I completely agree with you. I do see a super cycle. Obviously, if you watch the show, you know that I believe we're gonna hit 700K before it dip down to like 300K, and I think we'll never see under 100K once we get past it. That's just my thinking, and I think this is very healthy because smart money does not buy tops, local tops. Smart money buys dips and they sell on rips, right? So that's what smart money does. And this actually gives an opportunity for the smart money that was sitting on the sideline. And when I say smart money, I mean the hedge funds. I mean the big players who don't make a lot of mistakes, right? And if they do, they cover it up somehow, right? So I just feel like they always CYA cover their A, but yeah, I'm with you, man. I think this is really good for everything. I'm really actually happy this happened, and I feel like the next month, because we're a month away from the halving, right? We're about, I would say, about 29 days away from the estimated halving date. So
Yeah, and then if you pull it up to the previous having March, you can see here like March 1st, it started to pull back down. You can see kind of the same thing, except for it was a little bit shorter. So it was at like $400, and then we get all the way down to like I don't know, like 390. So I mean, there's always a traditional pullback in March if it's the halving year, because then you can see what happens in April and May, right? And so I think that's what this is healthy. This is the part of the cycle that people were saying, and I agree that it is different with the buy pressure ETFs, but like this is the part of the cycle I think you don't want to change. You want there to be that pullback in March. However big it is, just significant enough for people to notice, I think. And then, let it rip in maybe like possibly late April, early May. And then that's when it really starts to rip. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
yeah, so it should be fun to watch. Can't wait to get past the halving and then kind of see what really happens after that. So
Yep.
all right, jump to our next topic here. I'll jump to the Ordinal Maxi Biz. So Ordinal Maxi Biz was sitting at like 1.1 a few days before their launch, and with the high being 1.5 Bitcoin, which was absolutely insane. It was great to see. It was the first project that really ever got that high. And I don't mean market cap, but I mean like looking at the price,
Floor.
right? The floor of the price. I mean, yes, you can say Bitcoin shrooms and other things as well, but this is the first like PFP. I guess shrooms was a PFP collection. Yeah, I'm fighting
Yeah.
myself here, but
Yeah. No. I mean, like I think shrooms also there's like way less, right? I think there's like maybe
oh,
500
only
or
100.
1,000.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, 100. That so you can't really compare that. Like I think if you're gonna compare like the floor price like standard, you got to do it with something that has a couple thousand supply at least, right? So
Yeah.
I mean that's OMB. I feel like they qualify into that, and so they did set that standard of getting to 1.5 Bitcoin, maybe even a little bit higher, and then retrace dramatically. But like you said. I mean, you called this, so props to you. You said that everything was going to retrace down to 0.3, and it definitely isn't. It's 0.378 right now. A lot of people are saying, well, that's just the orange eyes level price, but at the end of the day, it still affects the blue eyes and the red eyes because, like, it's going to be hard. Like, you're not selling those on the floor anymore, so you can't move those like you were
Mhm.
able to move them, And so now, like, unless you have an orange eyes, those are the the ones that are going to move the quickest, and that's why they're so low. But I'm just kind of like I'm a little bit like puzzled to like the price for public mint. You know what I mean? Like right now, if you look at it,
Show it.
here, yeah.
I got it here.
I mean, it's crazy. You know,
It's
crazy.
Was it 0.09 Bitcoin? It's instant.
No,
0.99.
0.99. Yeah,
0.99. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so like pretty much it's one Bitcoin. So you can see there was a collector's list that people got at 0.09. So if you had a Ordinal Maxi Biz, and I guess if you followed the instructions, then you qualified for that. And you know, instantaneously people started flipping them like for pretty cheap, you know, and they weren't thinking about like the next levels. And so like if you're on the first come first serve whitelist, which you still had to do stuff to get that, that's 0.29. And so I remember after the collector's list, people were like flipping them for like 0.4, and it touched into 0.39 and stuff like that. And then, you know, the first come first serve started minting. It jumped a little bit higher, and then but it's hung around where it kind of is right now. And then like, but it's just too dramatic of a jump. You know, every level is way too dramatic. I'm actually really shocked that they're even able to mint out. If they do, they're at 94%. But you're talking about one single Bitcoin. I just don't see people paying that for. Why would they do that? Like you're actually in a really tough spot right now, because you're not going to mint out, in my opinion. Secondary, I can buy these for 0.39. Why would I mint them, you know, for one Bitcoin? It doesn't make sense. You know, so it's look, it's weird because like, you know, like you get into kind of this spot, like, and like, what do you do? Like, what do you do here?
Yeah.
You know,
And there's how many left? There's
enough to where it's not going to mint out, in my opinion. Yeah, enough to where it's not going to mint.
That's a lot. It's almost 200, close to 200. You know, it's not going to mint out.
Yeah, unless the floor, and this is like one of those situations to where if the floor raises, you know, to what it has to be higher than the public mint. It has to be higher. And I just don't see that happening. And if the team ends up, you know, what the team could do here is just be like, okay, you know, publicly, we are going to mint out this for ourselves because we have confidence in ourselves and blah, blah, blah. But like, even then, it's just like you're in a tough spot, you know?
Well, you could also end it here and then, you know, there's auction the rest of them, you know what I mean? To the highest bidder.
Yeah.
You know, or something like that. But yeah, it's you know, it's fun to see. I hope this project does really well. I'm not a holder of this, and I think that you know, I'm actually hoping to get it at a certain price. We talked about the price point that I feel comfortable at, and I want one because, you know, I'm kind of annoyed because Eric Block and Hype got one and I ain't got one. No, I'm just kidding. I'm jealous though. I'm definitely jealous.
Yeah. I think that this is just a little bit of a setback for OMB. I think they'll get through it. You know, there's been some setbacks in the space recently. Just weird stuff happening. This is another example. But believe me, OMB is not going anywhere. They have a strong movement, strong brand. So they just got to figure out how to maneuver around this situation, and then they'll be back, in my opinion.
100%.
So
yeah, man. We'll jump into our next topic here. Kind of goes right with it. Yeah.
Uniworlds?
Yeah, the Uniworlds. So Uniworlds partnership with Unisat to bring virtual worlds to Unisat wallets. Think about that for a second, what I just said, right? Uniworlds partnership with Unisat to bring virtual worlds to Unisat wallets.
Yeah.
Wow. Right?
Yeah, but I also want to know what that means more, because like for me, does that mean that like, you know, they are, you know, they're creating like an AR type environment with assets in your wallets, you know what I mean? Or does that mean that you're going to connect with your Unisat wallet and be able to play in certain games? You know, it's very interesting because like I've seen a couple things about this from Unisat, and it's like the most information they've been kind of leaking is this Uniworlds type of thing, and not so much about like their modular system and all that stuff, but maybe it ties into it. But it says, if you look at one of their posts, it says, can you scroll down?
Sure.
Keep going. Right there. So right there. Yeah. So it says. I think that's the same one. Yeah.
Sneak peek. Discover how we're crafting 3D CryptoPunk with our innovative products, smooth integrations, top-notch network, and deep dev expertise. Ensure everyone gets their unique space on the blockchain. Let's visit each other's world beyond just transactions. Is that a dig at Bitmap there? Beyond just
Um,
transactions?
no, I don't think it is. I think it's more of like they're saying, "Hey, look, we're going to create like the ultimate social media type of platform for the digital asset space, right?" And so there's been other projects in the past on different chains that have attempted this. Let's see what happens here. It's Bitcoin's obviously going to get the most attention, I think. So it's interesting. I'll say that like there's a reason why Unisat's kind of putting their eggs in this basket, and I think like social media people aren't. I think they don't realize how powerful it is. And
Yeah.
the first one that goes like mainstream through like a blockchain type of environment is going to probably dominate. It's like Google in the beginning, like the first one to really dominate and own that search market wins. So maybe that's what they're trying to do here. And maybe like their swap and everything rolls into this kind of like experience, because that would be pretty cool if you
Yeah.
could swap in this type of experience world. But I think we just need more information, right?
Yeah.
But there's so much stuff right now that's being teased and stuff for the next 6 months that's supposed to be released. So this is just another thing.
I'm super excited, and I was told that the team from Unisat already, they're gamer guys. They all have gamer backgrounds, and then this project is just something that they've been working on when they weren't working on Unisat, kind of like a side project, but now have brought this to Unisat. Like, hey guys, this is ready to roll, and Unisat is now partnered with them. So I think it's pretty big. One thing though, we have to stop doing, Yagobi. We have to stop fading block, bro, because he he did uni worlds before anyone else. He saw this and just immediately jumped on it. And even Uniworld says right here, what happened? I just went out to buy a cup of coffee. The rules will be announced in the next few days. And our buddy Block here, this was just at 1K a couple years ago. He was one of the first people to really dig into .uni worlds, and that was yesterday. And now look at what is going on over here. Uni Worlds, 13,000. So I think
Wow.
I just went blank here, but yeah, so
No,
it's 13,000.
mm-hmm.
So it's pretty crazy. Uni Worlds. Do you have any of these?
I don't, man. But now, like, I feel like I missed out on this. But
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, there's so many things that you can feel like you missed out on stuff. But it's just yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people. But it did say the rules will be out in an hour, so I think that's important to make sure that you go over all the documentation and stuff before you go crazy. But that's just my perspective on it. Do as you please, but we'll see what happens here, because I'm a little bit tired of these like text inscriptions that are building out this like world of environment. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's just a little bit tiring, right? Whenever that happens. And so, but I will say that, um, I think that like them doing this is definitely going to probably have a lot of people ask questions to see if they're trying to compete with Bitmap, and the Bitmappers probably aren't going to be happy about it if that's the case.
I agree 100%. All right, let's get into our next topic here. All right. Finally got stoned. So this is absolutely insane. Could you explain for someone who doesn't know what happened over the last week or so, has lived under a rock? Could you kind of explain what the hell has happened with that?
Yeah, so Runestones was an initiative that was led by Leonidas, which is an Ordfluencer on X, Twitter, at Leonidas NFT. And basically he saw a lot of these pre-runes miners or ordinal miners to be able to like get people like allocation for their specific runes token once runes protocol is launched. And Leonidas said, you know what, like let's just go ahead and reward all the people that had conviction in the space from last year. I'm not sure what his date range was, but I think he went up until like December or November. And like you had to have like your wallet had to like fit certain criteria. I'm not sure if it was like PFPs or like like JPEG inscriptions or something like that. But anyways, if you were an OG, you qualified, you got a free rune stone airdrop, right? And so you will be able to get airdropped the actual runestone token, which he's trying to make the largest meme on the largest blockchain is what his statement was. And so that's what it is, man. It's like been the most hyped runestone runestone miner, I guess you could call them. And it's done extremely well, right? You're looking right now at 0.042 is the price, the floor price, 0.043 actually, which equates to, let's see what that is. Like in USD, that is $2,874. So, there's a lot of people that were, creating a lot of wallets last year just because they didn't want to keep all their stuff in one wallet. And if they had activity on those wallets, then, they got this drop. So some people probably made a ton of money just by participating and have conviction in the space. So I think it's a huge, like great reward. But anyways, so his goal he set out there is to reach 0.069. This is whenever it was at like I think that needs to be changed. The price on there is wrong. There we go. 0.069. But yeah, so that's the goal. And I think that would flip Bored Ape Yacht Club. And we're on our way there, man. We're at 0.043 right now. And yesterday we were at 0.025. So who knows where this thing's going to be at in like the next day or two.
100%. And I was one of those people who I am very, very, one of the people who just, I can't keep everything in one wallet, right? I just can't. I can't fathom hitting a link or hitting an email and then all my stuff's gone. So I'm a type of person who had 7 wallets last year. I got 7 Runestones, and I ended up buying a bunch more on the. I didn't get my number. I wanted to get 20. I unfortunately was only able to get like a 12, and then so I was very happy with that. But I'm taking profit now, guys. I'm selling. I sold a bunch of these this morning at 0.04, and I'm probably gonna drop about 50%, 60% of these, just because they're becoming too big in my portfolio. With the amount, I wasn't expecting this to be this high this quickly. Still very bullish on it. Don't get me wrong. It's just one of those things where sometimes you have to take profit. And I know the type of investor I am. I'm somebody who sells early and I keep it moving, and I like to recycle into things that haven't moved yet. And there's gonna be a lot of opportunity coming with runes and different things like that. And I want to have the necessary capital to get into Rune 0, to get into Rune 1, to get into Rune 2. They're the only ones that really interest me. And then maybe dip my toe into more RSIC type of stuff. And who knows what type of projects coming. We had rumors from IMSO Chris in our spaces that he's going to be doing a rune token, and maybe do something eventually. Get that token as well. So I don't know. I'm very, very happy with my with my gains here. So that's just my profession, my strategy.
Yeah. No, I think everybody has their strategy, their individual strategy here, and you got to determine what is your price to let these go at. I do think that they get to 0.1 or higher, actually, probably a little bit higher than that eventually, like maybe a week before runes launch. But yeah, I think that like if you strategize this correctly, if you had you received a decent amount of these, this could be a really good opportunity to like really grow that, right? not financial advice, but that's kind of where I'm at with this. I'm being careful with how I kind of handle my strategy, but I think that Rune Zero is going to be the one that a lot of people are going after. It's going to be, I think that's going to be huge. So
I agree. So, what have you done personally? Have you taken any off your?
no,
Okay.
no, not yet, not yet. I just feel like there's so much more upside here. Personally, I feel like that. But I'm also not gonna, be too greedy with it, because I do feel like once you're like too greedy in a situation, at least with my experience, you either never hit that, or your expectations are just kind of out of touch a little bit, right? And so, yeah, I think you got to be very in touch in this industry and market, because once you start getting out of touch, then you become like you start holding very heavy bags, right? So
Yeah.
that's the thing I want to avoid.
Yeah, and I'm just
So,
like I said before, I'm just a person who just likes to recycle into other things. So that's what you get in those show, guys. You get two completely different strategies, and but you have to make your own strategy. You cannot listen to my strategy, you cannot listen to Yagobi's strategy. You have to listen to your own personal strategy and make decisions for yourself, because we're all big boys here. We're all not going to blame people for our mistakes or of either holding too long or selling too early. But
yeah. Where do you see these top out at?
Interesting. I want to say point one, but I just feel like you'd have to have some really strong hands, and it just takes like a few people to start dumping them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At like 0.998 or something. I don't know. It's hard to predict. These could go to point two. I don't see them ever going higher than point two. That's like moon. But I definitely see point one as a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, there's 112,400 of these, and so
112,000 Bitcoin. if
yeah.
it hits.
Yeah, so if it gets to point one, we're looking at a $753 million market cap. If it hits point two, that's that's gonna be what, 13,400. Yeah, that's 1.5 billion. So I definitely don't think it hits point two, but it could hit point one, and that would be that would still be like pushing it pretty hard, because like I think at
Yeah.
that point you're getting at, well, I mean, Rats got to that market cap, so it could definitely do that.
Yeah, but that's
I-
centralized exchanges. This is not. You have to have
yeah.
a
I mean,
Unisat
yeah.
wallet.
So I think that the way it would, though, is like we're talking about diamond hands, right? You got to have like super diamond handed people, which I think that this could have that, because like you're talking
Yeah.
about, a lot of these people have been in the space for a while, so they know what could happen. But there's a good percentage of those people that are been in the space for a while that are like to flip into new opportunities too. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens here. It's going to definitely be interesting. I think that most interesting is going to be the next couple of days, because I think the next couple of days, we're either going to see a like pretty strong continuation leap forward, like like getting up to like 0.06, 07, 08, or we're going to just see like stagnant, like 0.043, 0.045 to 0.04, like kind of back and forth, right? So I don't think it tanks or anything like that. I think there's just too much like momentum behind it, and strength. So
Yeah. I see a pullback to 0.03 because that was yesterday's high. I feel like tomorrow, the next day, we're going to see a pullback to 0.03, and I think we're going to hang out there for a little while. I think you're going to see a lot of people being like, "Oh, I should have sold at 0.04," and then really just listing them a little lower than they wanted to. So, but this is what I'm thinking, and I'm actually kind of hoping for that, because I could use a buyback in at a 25%.
It's
Price.
funny. It's funny because a lot of times you say you don't trade, but then like you look for these like trading opportunities.
Well, that's the thing, is like if it doesn't, I'm still happy with my sellout. But if it does, I might have an opportunity to get back in. To me, it's just like if that opportunity doesn't present itself, I'm fine either way. But if that
Yeah.
opportunity does present itself, then again, it becomes a long-term hold, and I'm up from zero because I didn't pay for these. So for me not to take profit right now would be something that I would scold myself with, because I consider myself an experienced investor, and I know that a lot of times you have to take some off the table to create other opportunities in other places.
Yeah. I would say like you're more of like a investor, like in terms of a little bit longer term investor, but also you're also a swing trader, man. As much as you might not see it, I mean it's true. Like, but swing trading I think is different than just your traditional flipping, because what swing traders do is they wait for an opportunity. If it comes, then great. If it doesn't, then you just move forward. You don't think twice about
Well,
it, right?
the problem is with this is, like, this is a meme coin. At the end of the day, this will be a meme coin thing. I don't hold this because I can't stake it. I'm a long-term holder and investor in things that I'm able to make compound interest on. So I
Yet.
think that well, we haven't heard any plans of that. You know what I mean? Like, but stuff like, let's just say, like the Merlin swap token, or things like, for instance, what else? What other token? Oh, the MNER token, or the Bit Smiley token. I'm potentially going to be able to stake those, and not in LPs, and other ways to create. They're the ones that I'm going to be holding till the end of the bear market, but I'm going to be earning the entire time, and that is my personal favorite. With me, anything meme, Shizzy doesn't like. Shizzy don't like, but I'm down to make money. So
Yeah, yeah. You don't like, but you participate in
hey, I'm only human,
quite a bit, quite a bit, quite a bit.
These were free. I mean, what do you want me to do?
No, 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 no. I mean, like, like the hoo-hoos, the other stuff,
Yeah,
but with
well,
like Boya, stuff
when
like that.
when
But
opportunity knocks, I do answer and say hello. I do.
yeah, yeah. I
So
mean, I think that's how you got to play it, right? For me, I'm a little bit more, I think like like conservative on the staking side of things, just because I've been in a like, don't get me wrong, you can make a lot of money staking stuff, not financial advice at all, but you just got to be very careful, or I got to be very careful, just because you know um there's going to be a point in time where staking is just not ideal in the market cycle, right? Like, or part of the cycle. And so I'm just going to be very, very intentional with how I handle those situations.
But like I said before, I think we're in the IDO part of the cycle, right? IDOs are really big, initial DEX offerings, ICOs, initial coin offerings. I think they're really big right now. But the next stage, if you go back in time and look at last cycle, the next stage is staking. That's when all the staking protocols come. That's when the Compound came, the Aave came, DeFi Summer really started to take off. And I feel like we're about to have our Bitcoin DeFi summer, this upcoming summer, and I think the staking for that will be outstanding. That's when you're going to see a lot of people start entering the Merlin sector, trying to get their hands on these new shiny toys, right? And I want to be ahead of that, and I want to be staking while they're buying and staking, and then I'm going to get out when they're fully staked. That's just,
Yeah.
again, my personal thing, and that's kind of like my bull market strategy, guys. The bull market only lasts max 500 days. I think this one goes a little bit longer, maybe 700, but there's going to be a time when you should be pulling back into closer to the rock, as Crypto Bro would say.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100% on that. All right, well, let's move over to the next topic here. Unicross partners with Mineral. That was some pretty big news. There's a lot of big partnerships happening with Merlin Chain dApps. But what I love about Merlin Chain dApps is like they all launch their like pass or their whatever Genesis token. I love that looks like a poker chip. But they launch them all on Bitcoin native layer 1, which I love the fact that all that happens on Bitcoin, right? Because it just shows again, how Merlin Chain is there to support Bitcoin layer 1 assets first and foremost. This is another example of that. But they partnered with Mineral. I'm not sure how that partnership's going to work unless Mineral is going to really launch like more Bitcoin layer 1 assets, but do it from Merlin Chain, because that's what Unicross is for, right? Unicross is for being able to deploy on Bitcoin's native layer, but doing it directly from Mineral. And I think that, like, you know, let's actually, I'm going to pull it up here. So let me show my screen for a second. I'm going to pull my screen up. And you can see right here, it says, we are thrilled to announce our partnership with Mineral. Mineral is the first real-world asset-backed inscription on Merlin with diversified DeFi designs on Bitcoin Layer 2. This partnership brings you innovative solutions and expanding possibilities on Bitcoin Layer 2 inscriptions in DeFi. To celebrate, we are giving away, and you can get a Unicross Genesis NFT, which is going for a lot of money right now, and 25 or 20. Okay, so they're giving away 5 miner tokens to 20 different people, and all you have to do is follow Unicross at Unicross Global and at miner_club. Like, retweet, join Discord, and there's a Discord link, and leave your BC1 wallet address. So 48 hours is when they said this will be done, which is done now because it was posted March. So, you know, this is a partnership. Again, these big names are partnering. I think a lot of it has to do with like showing support, right? I mean, that's what I see here. You know, they're supporting each other. That ecosystem of those original dApps and Bitcoin Layer 1 assets that turn into projects, they're really supporting each other over there. How do you see it?
Yeah, I see the same, basically the same way. I feel like this Unicross Genesis thing is huge. I feel like the partnership with Mineral is huge. I feel like everything that these guys are doing so far on Merlin has been absolutely like a together feeling. Do you get that feeling of like everything they do is like they're all working together, like they're all partnered?
Yeah. So there's a common goal, it seems like, right? And that's to make sure that Merlin chain is a success, right? And
100%.
with that, obviously, they're looking at their individual projects to be successful, but it's almost kind of like, okay, guys, we got to make sure that Merlin chain is a success first. I mean, obviously, their projects are their most important thing, but like right now, there's like this overall consensus. It seems like that, okay, let's just unify and unite and make Merlin chain as strong as possible. And then once, you know, the activity just thrusts up and increases, then there's going to be so much for people to have activity for on this chain. And then that will benefit our individual projects inevitably, right? And that's what I see here, which is really, really good, in my opinion. That's bullish, you know, being an outsider looking in and someone that has stuff staked on the seal. Bullish for the Merl token and these other tokens that are a part of these dApps. So
Yeah,
it's a really good feeling.
100%. And this is another one. So I'm actually collecting these. I actually got one of these yesterday. I paid 0.7 something with it. So I did buy, you know, it did blow up since I bought it. I got very lucky with that. So I'm collecting all this. I got the bit smiley. I got the minerals. I have the wands. I also have this now, and I'm going to continue to be grabbing this type of stuff, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, whether that's staking or whatever. Whatever happened with this, or because there's a term going around right now, and that term is token generation event, TGE. If you guys see TGE, then you are 90% of the time it means token generation event. There's other ways to use that as well, but in crypto and ordinals, TGE normally means token generation event. And if this has one of those guys, I want it. I want the Unicross Genesis token if that's possible, and I want as much as I possibly get. I only own one of these. I want to buy again. I'm hoping for a dip. It's not financial advice. Do not follow me. I am reckless and crazy sometimes, so that is a decision that you have to make. But this price is high, man. But I want another. I'm greedy.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely too high for me to get into right now. But man, I should have pulled the trigger before, you know, knowing that Unicross has been making huge moves,
Yeah,
right? But you know, you win some, you lose some. You're early to some, and some you just miss, and you got to accept that in the space. There's so much going on.
100%. But this is another reason why I bought it. There's only 1,000 of these. There's only
Yeah.
1,000 people max, and I know a bunch of people probably have multiple that can get this potential airdrop of this token from holding this thing or staking for whatever. But if they do something like BitSmiley where you stake it for a while before the TGE event, I don't know, man. I'm super bullish on this. I wish I would have got it around 0.23 when I originally saw it. I faded it. Sorry, Mr. J. I will never fade you again. And I'm very excited for what they pull next. So,
yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Excited about that. Excited about the whole ecosystem. I'm ready to play with it. But I know that we got to be a little bit more patient. And once it's ready, we will definitely know, so.
Yep.
I think we hit on everything there. Anything you feel like we missed out on, or?
No, I think we hit everything. There's been a lot more news this weekend than last. So, I mean, besides that, I think we should do what everyone. I think the reason why most people watch, they want to see how their bags are doing. So let's show them their bags.
Let's do it, and we're gonna start with the BRC20 market. We're using OKX now because they just have a lot more and better data. So you can see here with rats as being it's the number one ticker here. You can see the volume is right under 500K. Market cap sitting at 267 million. The holder count's right at 13,000, a little higher than 13,000. Number two is AIDF, 326,000 in 24-hour volume. Market cap sits at 1.87 million. And then, but not many holders. So this one, that kind of worries me a little bit. So it must be a new token here, but also the market cap is not big. So we'll see. This is probably flash in the pan. We'll see. Then you have Sats at number three, 211,000, 24-hour volume, sitting at 1.04 billion. So holding that $1 billion market cap, I like that. And the holder count's 43,000, man. There's a lot. So this is actually a good strength sign for Sats, holding that 1 billion and then having 43,000 holders there. Number four, AINN, it's AI token, I believe, but it's one that's in the seal, 208,000 in total volume, 24 hours, and sitting at $40.29 million market cap. About 7,000 holders there. RSK, 195,000 total volume, sitting at 14 million market cap. PIN sitting at 188,000 total 24-hour volume, sitting at $13.39 million market cap. LIGO comes in at number 7, 181,000 24-hour volume, 11.38 million. Pi comes in at number 8, 132,000 total volume, 24 hours, and then $15.98 million market cap. MMSS, the meme coin from the Korean artist, still pretty strong here, staying in that top 10 on OKX, 113,000 in total volume. People are trading these top 10 for sure. $7.29 million market cap, sitting at 5,500 total holders there. Then you have DAI, 106,000 total volume, $5.77 million market cap, right under 2,000 holders. Let's see if we see any other. Track sitting here at 57,000 in total 24-hour volume. Market cap is right under 80 million, 6,000 holders there. Any other ones that I see here? Pups from the Puppets community, 23,000 total volume, $14 million market cap, 2379 in total holders. And that is the the BRC20 weekend market update.
All right. And I'll take you guys over to the digital artifact part of the update. Let me give us a quick refresh so I can give you guys the freshest prices. And I am always on the 7-day. That's kind of what I like to do. So we have Runestones sitting at 0.043, sitting at 457 Bitcoin. Yo, did you notice that it's back to how it was before they made the changes?
I did.
And they did keep the USD price, so you can look at it in USD. But we here on Bitcoin like to do things in Bitcoin. So we have Runestone at 457 Bitcoin in volume over the last,
That's
2 days?
crazy. Yeah.
Insanity, bro. Ordinal Maxi Biz coming in at second spot, sitting at 0.378 with 265 Bitcoin. That's really insane as well. And then Node Monkey's just chugging along, man. My personal favorite in the top 4 here, sitting at 0.538 at 184 Bitcoin. And then the Puppets, man, hoping for a pullback. I need to get back in this. I messed up. I made a mistake, and I know I'm paying for it. So congratulations, all Puppet holders, sitting at 0.19. In that 5th spot, we got RSIC Meta Protocol. I think RSIC is really taking a hit right now because of Runestones, but you could potentially see Arctic kind of start moving again. And that 6 spot, we got the Quantum Cat sitting at 0.27. Really bullish on the next stage of this. Udi keeps teasing something on his Twitter. I'm curious of what is going on. Did you hear that guy who eats cats and
Oh, Luke, yeah,
yeah,
Luke,
Luke
dang it,
Jr.
what's
or Luke
yeah,
Dash Jr.
Luke Dash Jr. Yep.
He said that OpCat will be deleted on entry if it hits his desk. So
The proposal, yeah.
yeah, he said there's a lot more better proposals. This isn't even going to hit his desk, and that it's DOA, dead on arrival. So we'll
Yeah.
see. This is a movement to try to get this to Bitcoin Core, but we'll see. Got to get past our first boss, and I don't think it's a hard boss to get past, which is Luke Datz Jr. But and then in that 7th spot, we got the other cats all the way over from Nats, the Nat Cats sitting at 0.057. Coming back up. Got all the way down to 0.048 yesterday. This community is very strong, and we'll see where they take this. And then in that 8th spot, we got the Apostles of Greed, our good friend from Magisat Quarry, absolutely amazing person. We really hope this does well. Sitting at 0.016. And then in that 9th spot, we got McCann sitting at 0.0071. About 21 Bitcoin in value. Then the frogs, man, the most underrated collection in my eyes, sitting at 0.117 at 17 Bitcoin in value. And then Bitmaps, dude, what is going on with Bitmaps? Down only, bro.
Well, it bounced back up to 0.003. I think it got into the 0.002 range.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
And then in that 12th spot, we got COCKS. Yeah, you guys know what that spells. But that is your digital market update.
Artifacts.
Digital market update? Digital artifact. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yep. All right, we're going to go over to the BRC 420 market update for the weekend. We have, of course, the blue cube sitting in the top spot, 0.54999. So this pulled back. This was, at one point, the past couple of months, it got to 0.7 something. But it's, Bitcoin pulled back, so the USD is going to look definitely less. It's at 37,000, which I say less, but that's crazy for this blue cube, right? So number 2 is the mineral token. This actually pulled back quite a bit too. This got to almost 2,500. We're looking at 1172 right now in terms of USD, but 0.0174. I'm not worried about any of these assets, by the way, guys. Once the Merlin chain is active with these assets, you're going to be able to do a lot, I believe. But yeah, so the music box, the song is about NFTs, comes in at number 3, 0.0199. 1340 is the USD price on that. Dragon Ball, it comes in at number 4 in terms of volume, $134.72, 0.002. Then you have the Blue Wand sitting at $218.91 at 0.00325. The Key comes in at 0.00023 at $15.49. Then you have Bitmap Town at $60.62 at 0.0009. A couple of others here. Chip Game, $202.07. This thing kind of shot back up here, 0.003. I'm interested to see what they got building over here. I'm definitely interested to see. It'd be really cool if they did have like a poker site on Merlin, but we'll have to wait and see. And we'll go to check on the Titanium Cheeto here, 0.0008, $53.89. And then we'll go over to our Ordinal Revolution Pass that, is the gift that keeps giving, everybody says, sitting at 0.022222. So right now there's one on the floor for $14.96. So pretty good price compared to what, it's been. This guy right here is looking for a huge payday, $40,000. But everybody loves our pass, guys, and we do too. And we're gonna keep working hard to bring value to it, and we will. So we're proud of it, man. We're proud of you guys, our community as well. So that is the BRC 420 market update.
All right. And then I got to jump over to I guess the red area, right, would be the Merlin tokens, right? And I use Dex Screenshot for that because there's no really good way of showing that. So let me just verify that I'm human. All right, and then I can show my screen here. It was successful. I am human, so that is good to know. And then we'll check up the first is first. We'll check up the first coin that ever was on. Okay, look at this chart, man. Holy crap. Hoo-Hoo's is very up since then. I don't know why that is looking like that, but is this
No,
no,
that's
this
not the
is
right.
Who.
Yeah,
What the hell?
I was like, no, that's not the right
All right,
one.
here we go. Here we go. This looks better. All right. So we got so we got all the way back up to here, and then just kind of trickling down now. But this is good retest in my eyes. I think that it's very healthy correction because it did go up a lot there. So sitting at a $12 million market cap. So yeah, that's Hoo-Hoo. We'll jump over to Voya. Voya's up 25% today. Wow, sitting back at $5. I saw it yesterday. I'm a holder of this, and I saw it yesterday. And look at this, dude. I was so right about this. It could go two ways. But Voya sitting here at $5. I'm still very bullish on Voya. $10 million tokens are available. This could get pretty high, in my opinion. Not financial advice. This is also just a meme coin. I'm only holding it because I can't hold the tokens that I want yet, meaning the MNER token and all that stuff that's over there. So I might start dumping this once I can reinvest into some staking type of opportunities. But yeah, I think that's really it for here. I don't think it's worth getting into really anything else. We had Jeff down 17.44%. Sorry, Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
Shout out Jeff. We love Jeff, man. Jeff's the man, the myth, the legend. We got Lexer sitting at a $476 million market cap. These guys are building a launch pad now, so I'm curious what they do in the future. But that is your Merlin update.
Yeah, I'm curious about Elixir too. I mean, how do you feel about like some of these other ones? Elixir is kind of like connected a little bit to Hoo-Hoo just because it launched right after, and then I think it's like a project that's not going to give up, and so but we'll see what happens, right? Because right now it's really just Voya and Hoo-Hoo that people are focused on.
For now. I mean,
for now
we're gonna have the Bit Smiley token. We're gonna have the MNER token, potentially the Unicross token, the Merlin Swap token, the Vrothio Mines token. There's gonna be a lot of tokens really pushing over there. Vrothio Mines is a DEX over there. It's so we're curious what that is like. Yeah, and then obviously what else comes with it. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Exciting times, I would say for sure. For some, I think some people are kind of down because of like, the collections prices and BRC20s prices are not like super attractive right now and stuff like that. But I feel like the people that are down are like, down in the dumps are people that are really like haven't been over here for very long, or they don't know how to handle like their emotion. They're way too emotional, right? Because like for you and I, like, yeah, like it does kind of stink that like the prices aren't great, but we're not affected by this because like, and maybe it's because we're staying busy too. But just because we've been through like this is the fourth time that that this space has really kind of cycled in terms of a bunch of attention from bringing people from the outside in, and then it slows down and they're like, oh, what's going on, and then they leave, and then next thing you know they miss out on the next one, right? But for people like us and other OGs in the space that have that just were convicted in the space in general, we know what's going on because we're having like conversations in other groups and stuff that aren't even focused about the price right now about stuff, right? They're more focused about like 6 months down the road. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think you again, like you're right on about it. I don't really care about the prices of no monkeys right now. I don't care about. I mean, obviously it's fun to watch. It's like it's like obviously this. Let's just say you're watching a football game, like you don't know what the final score is going to be. You just want to be up, right? So that's it.
Yeah.
And so I'm just glad to be up. I'm glad to be winning, right? We're just launching W's everywhere we go, and then we're going to take some losses. The other team, which is the enemy. They're coming. They can come and score some touchdowns as well. And but we have to stay on the offense and keep attacking, keep finding new ways to get the ball into the end zone, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I think that could be part of it. Is that like the people that do come over like on the cycles, they might have gotten in Like, for us, we've gotten in but also to my point, like, because we've stayed convicted since the beginning, like, we're in positions from the first, second, third time that
Yep.
we're looking at, like, okay, we're not as up as much as we were, but we're still up pretty large. But to some of these people that came in like cycle 3 or whatever, they're just kind of like, man, this sucks. Like, they haven't
Yeah.
seen, and that just has to do with them being in late, being aggressive late and stuff like that.
I mean, that
So
happened to us too, right? Because we got in March and April. So the guys in that were in January, February were just, they were selling us their bags, and we were happily buying them. But that summer, a few months later, we got dumped on pretty hard, right?
yeah,
So
well, I think that we got a little bit lucky though, because like BRC 20s launched in March. We got in April, so once it launched, yeah, we caught some of the dumping for BRC 20s, but we also caught some of the early a little bit still. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And I think because, we were kind of in between for that moment, like we were able to benefit, right? But you're right, like in terms of collections, ordinal collections, definitely. I remember like I was telling you, like I was bullish on frogs like from the jump, because I was just like, okay, this is the collection, right? And
yep,
then you got in,
got
and then
hammered.
like, yeah, you got hammered right away, and then you sold like pretty quick because you were just like, I don't want to take like more of a loss. But then like, but that's like a learning thing, right? Like
Yeah,
we've
no,
learned from that.
I learned a lot. I learned a lot during that period. That is kind of why I'm holding on a lot of stuff that is down right now, is because I've realized from my experience now is everything eventually comes back, and you just got to keep that waiting period, keep your feet on the ground, keep your head down, and just keep building. And I think everyone in the space should be building something, whether that's just building, your personal convictions and things, or that's building a project, or just building your appearance in spaces and stuff like that, and just getting your just understanding and just being involved, whether that's just being a community member or being a builder, is the most important part in this entire
Yeah,
thing.
no, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Yeah, so that's pretty much where we are in the space.
Yep.
But we've had some conversations with different people that like there's definitely an orange tsunami coming. I'll tell you that.
Yep.
Uh, not financial advice, but but
And we do have an announcement. We announced it on our spaces, and we'll announce it here for the very first time. Ordinal Revolution is now full time. Yagobi and Shizzy are full time Ordinal Revolution, and we want to bring you guys and other people this amazing content. We just ask you guys a favor. If you guys can please tell your other crypto friends, hey guys, you guys want to learn about Ordinal Revolution, or the Ordinal Revolution, go watch Ordinal Revolution. So, but we're going to be going live every single day, Monday to Friday, at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, and with that 7 a.m.
8
Pacific,
a.m.
8
Pacific,
a.m.
8 a.m.
Pacific.
Pacific. Yep,
It's only 2 hours now.
behind Central.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so guys, so check us out every single day. We're going to be going on for an hour, and then we'll probably have an after hour as well. We can guarantee the hour. We cannot guarantee the after hour depending on our schedules. There's going to be days where Yagobi's not going to be there, and we're going to have a special guest. And there's going to be days where I'm not there, and we're going to have a special guest. That's the only way to really do it, because we both are dealing with we have personal things we
Life.
have to attend, life things we have to attend. So definitely that should be fun though, because then you get perspective of somebody who you normally don't get a perspective from, and we're going to have these people kind of coming on and kind of talking from week to week to week, and it should be fun. It should be amazing. It should be a nice change of pace sometimes. So we're excited for that as well. But you'll be getting your daily dose of Ordinal Revolution on Twitter and YouTube every single day except the weekends. Weekends we're gonna spend some family time. But yeah.
Yep, 100%, man. I'm super stoked about it, and you guys should be too, because you're gonna
Yep.
get a lot of alpha and information. So
Yep, and it doesn't mean that we're going to stop the weekly and weekend updates. You'll still have them. We'll gather all the information and put that on one. So if you're not some person who likes the lives, you can still get it all in your weekly and weekend update. There will be a lot of regurgitated information from the lives to the update, but that is something we have to do because there's not that much to talk about. So just bear with us if you're somebody who wants to watch everything. Maybe if you watched all the lives, you can skip the market update, or if you skip the lives, maybe you can just watch the update. Whatever you guys want to do, watch it all. That helps us. That supports us. Tell your friends. Tell your grandma. Grandma's going to be getting in soon, so she should be aware of what's going on. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And guys, make sure you check out ordinalrevolution.com. We do have articles about the Bitcoin ecosystem on there, as well as if you visit our store tab, you can get some Ordinals gear, Bitcoin ecosystem gear. And if you're going to the Bitcoin National Conference, make sure you use our link, which is in our banner at the top right. You'll get 21% off your ticket prices. So that's pretty much it. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. We need all the support we can get. We are going full time, so we love you guys. And yeah, man, let's get bullish, because you're not bullish enough, as Shizzy says.
You're not bullish enough, baby. And we got some fresh not bullish shirts on the site. Thank you of my brother-in-law and my brothers actually helping us with that type of stuff. And so we're definitely we're going to need help in the future. So if you're somebody who's a community member and wants to help us, we could definitely use all the help we can get. We have a lot of projects that we're working on, and that would help. But feel free not to do as well. But we're about to make a members only video right after this. So if you're a member, get ready for a members only video shortly after this comes out. We have some really cool things to show you guys with that. So if you're a member, you're going to get some heavy alpha. So if you're not a member, sign up and that video will be waiting for you. But that's the show, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.